I hated every minute of training. But I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. Muhammad Ali. A very good afternoon to senior management team of Great Eastern, staff, and to all champions and soon-to-be champions. Thank you so much for having me here today. I am really grateful and very honored to be able to share with you my humble journey on why I did not qualify for MDRT for the past 7 years. 3% of the people are somebodies. 3% of people have a plan. 3% of the athletes make it to Olympics. 3% of the consultants qualify for MDRT. 3% of the children remember their grandpa's name. 3% give their fortune to charity. Do you see a pattern? 3% are the somebodies. 97% are the anybodies. Are you just an anybody? I was an anybody. I was average. I joined this business in June 2010 as a fresh graduate with no expectations at all coming to this. There was many doors that was open to me back then, and I simply walked through the door that was open the widest. I managed to scrape through and cleared Achievers, rookie honors, which I felt was very difficult. Then came 2011. I told myself, I had 7 months to clear rookies, and now that I have 12 months, it should be a piece of cake, right? No, apparently not. It doesn't work that way. I was immediately caught in a drought right at the start of 2011. After all the celebration for 2010's achievement and after the bonus on 12th of June, I was desperate. I asked myself, what changed? Did my calling script change? No. Did the target market that I'm going after changed? No. Did the sales advisory process that I used change? No. Did the company's product change? No. In fact, nothing has changed. But why am I not getting any results? I had no idea, and I was desperate. And what do people with no idea and desperate do? They do stupid things. I went to seek help from higher beings like Loyang Tua Pei Kong, hoping for some higher divine intervention with my sales. For those who do not know, that's a very famous Chinese temple all the way at Changi area. And guess what? When I was there, I noticed there's an Indian temple right beside. So I thought to myself, might as well visit that too. Which I did. For those who do not know, they actually have very clear steps and instructions on what to do. So step 1, you buy the package. Step 2, you burn here. Step 2, 3, burn there, so on and so forth. It's the same for the Indian temple. The only difference is that at the end of the ritual for the Indian temple, you have to break a coconut for good luck. So I managed to break mine. I got my luck. But my wife, who's a colleague then, tried many times and couldn't break it. So the staff finally said, okay, I can help her. So I helped her break the coconut. I took the luck and I passed it to her. I mean, that's how luck works, right? I was not looking for a way out by visiting the temple. I was looking for an easy way out. Thankfully, my IO, Alvin, and Riggs actually showed us during one of the Credence Juniors Planner meeting that we have every week, one of this video. The main message of the video was simple, and that is to walk by faith and not by sight. And that was when it hit me. I finally realized that I had lost faith in myself. I had wanted to find something else to put my faith in other than myself. So I wasn't looking for a way out, but I was looking for an easy way out. Let me share with you something about faith here. Of course, I'm not referring to the religious aspect of faith. Faith to me is to believe in something without proof. If I needed proof to believe in myself, how could I ever be successful? If I needed to believe, if no one believed in me, then who will? Champions, do you think champions believe in themselves first, before they win, or after they win? That's right. Champions believe in themselves before they win. They believe in themselves without proof. I have realized that I wanted to find something else to put my faith in other than my habits because it was so much easier. I was really hoping that offering some red packet, or by offering an incense, throwing a coconut, that would help me with my fortune. I was really hoping that it will work. I was having faith that it will work. I had misplaced my faith. Thankfully for those 6 words, walk by faith, not by sight, I'll continue on with what I'm supposed to do with my activities, despite having no result. And true enough, the results came much later, and I managed to qualify for Achievers in 2011. Have faith in yourself, have faith in your habits. Since then till now, I have not visited the Loyang Tua Pei Gong nor the Indian temple. Anybody does what everybody do. But somebodies do what champions do. Do you have the habits of a somebody? Do you have the habits of a champion? When I joined this business, my mentor instructed me, just like everyone else in Credence, to make use of this thing called the points form. It's really simple because you can only manage what you can measure. So you can see from paper, it really looks very simple. It measures things like the number of appointments you ran, the number of calls that you made, the referrals that you asked for, so on and so forth. The purpose of the points form is crystal clear, to encourage activities. Of course, we may not be able to close case every day, but we certainly can make one call every day. I think to a large extent, most of you, if not all, would agree with me that whether a prospect signs today or tomorrow is beyond our control. Of course, we can get everything right. We can arrive early for the appointment, we can continue to build the rapport, we can handle all the objections and still no sales. That was when I made a point. I made a decision to focus on the points rather than the sales. I told myself that I will have a daily goal of 20 points every day. Did that help me with my sales? Did my sales increase tremendously, even though I hit most of the days my daily goals? What do you all think? Obviously not. But something did happen. I began to drop less hair. I began to feel less stress. I felt that I was in control. I felt that I can control what I achieve every day because of my daily goals. Imagine yourself as a new durian farmer. You have bought a piece of land. Next, you prepare the soil. Then, you plant the seeds. Next, you start watering it. And then what's next? Do you harvest? No, obviously not. In fact, the farmer will continue to water the tree, to put the fertilizers, to pluck the weeds, all this without any rewards. But do you think the farmer will question or wonder, why is there none? No. Because he knows that he is not in control. He is not in control of how fast the tree grows. He is not in control of whether he can make the fruits, a tree bear fruits earlier. He continued on with his daily habits, and his first harvest only comes in 5 years later. Focus on what you can control. Focus on your daily goals, your daily habits, the habits of a somebody, the habits of a champion.
It's the
Focus on your daily habits, the habits of a champion. The following year, I managed to qualify for my Achievers again with an extra 1K FYC. Then I got appointed as a manager in 2013, leading a group of 4 very beautiful ladies. At a point in time, I really thought that I was comfortable. I'm also really thankful that I'm in Great Eastern, because in Credence, we have many good leaders and seniors to learn from. And one of them is Alvin. Alvin showed to me the possibilities of leading a good team and doing good sales, showing me what leading by example is all about. As a manager, I asked myself, what is the possibilities that open up for others? And that's when I managed to qualify for double qualifiers in 2013, 14, and 15. All this while having a little bit of increment in my personal sales year after year. Quite frankly, I was really comfortable and satisfied with my results, because every year my FYC is growing by a little bit, and so is my income. So, somebody did comment to me that it's because of inflation, not because of my improvement, that there's an increment. But I really didn't think too much about it, because, I was comfortable. Other than the car and myself to feed, the income was more than sufficient for me. I was comfortable, I was contented, and I thought that I was winning. I thought that I was winning with the extra 1K FYC every year. That was when this happened. An associate of mine, her name is Lynette, was going for her first MDRT in 2015. So during one of our coaching sessions back in 2015, we met up and she said that she wants to give up. Of course, like any other IOs inside this room, you will say, go on, you can do it. I said things like, even though your IO, which is me, have never done MDRT before, doesn't mean you can't. You can be the first in the team to qualify and to show the rest of us how it could be done. I really felt lousy having to say those words back then. Because, I've never done MDRT myself before. How could I be certified or coach to coach or even guide her along this journey? Do you think Lynette cleared her MDRT? Well, she's in the audience today. You can ask her yourself. In 2016, during our Credence kickoff, 7 of them who did MDRT did a sharing. And that was when I realized they are just like me. For the past few years that I failed to act differently, I've effectively lost to my enemy. And the enemy of a great life is a good life. And quite frankly, I had a good life. And my good life was my greatest enemy. I was winning against my circumstances, but I was failing against my potential. I was winning against my circumstances, but I was failing against my potential. I was winning against my circumstances, but I was failing against my potential. I didn't join this business just to be anybody, but yet I've allowed anybody to be my friend for the past few years. Every day that I fail to act differently, I've lost to my enemy. And anybody is the enemy of somebody. Average is the enemy of champions. So let me ask you this question. Is average your friend or your enemy? You know, a friend of mine, his name is Vernon. He shared with me this story about his Ducati purchase. For those who do not know, Ducati is a very famous Italian sports bike brand that many bike enthusiasts would like to own once in their lifetime. So one day he was out with his friend, a 40+ years old, who's also a biker. That's when a Ducati went past them. He made a comment and said, oh, that's one of his dream bikes. So his friend asked him, well, can you afford it now? He said, no, not yet. That's when his friend said, then work for it. A 40-plus-year-old like me, buying and riding a Ducati will not mean much to anyone or even to myself. In fact, people will call me a lao hero, an old hero. But it's completely different when a 20-plus-year-old like you buying one with your own capabilities and riding it. 1 year later, Vernon is riding his Ducati. Even if he sold it away 10 years later after the COE has ended, he would always be a Ducati rider. Isn't this the same as achieving your achievers, your MDRT, your COT, or even your TOT? Doing it in your 20s, 30s, or 40s is completely different when you do it in your 50s. How many more holidays could you have went for? How many more lives could you have impacted along the way? Ever since I joined the business, right at the start, I've always wanted to do MDRT. In fact, when I first joined, I told my IO straight away that I want to do MDRT. He smiled and he walked over and said, it's okay, let's start small and go for the rookie honors, which I did. But every year during the kickoff, I will still say it again, that I want to do MDRT. But I never achieved it and it was okay. Why? Because I still clear my convention, I still cleared my achievers, and I'm still earning a decent income compared to my peers who are working. MDRT was a good to have and not a must have. During the Credence kickoff in 2016, I finally come to realization that I've been giving myself too many excuses. For the first year, I said to myself, I'm still new, so I'm still building my base. The next year, well, because last year was only 7 months, I said I'm still new, I'm continuing to build my base. In my third year, now that I'm moving on to team building, I said that was my reason. Then I got appointed as manager in the fourth year. Managing and grooming and coaching the team became the priority. The following year, I was busy preparing my wedding, and the next, now that I'm married, busy buying a house and then the house renovation. Do any of you all see a trend? Yes? The list of excuses or reasons just keeps getting longer. That's when I realized that as I progress in this game of life, there are more reasons or excuses that I'm going to have not to do MDRT. So, I asked myself, then when is the best time? When? When the clients stop lining up in front of us, waiting to buy? Or when we are younger? Or when we have more time? No, my friends. The best time is now. MDRT is a mark of a champion, not to others, but to yourself, that you are somebody in this field that you've chosen to be in. It is also to prove to yourself that you can push yourself, that you can achieve your goals, and you certainly can overcome yourself. That was when in 2016, I found the courage and I stand in front of the whole agency once again to declare that I want to do MDRT. But this time, the difference is, I said that MDRT is now a must-have and not a good-to-have. 2016 is the year I become a somebody to myself. I no longer wish to take the easy way out, nor to lose to my potential any further. I told myself that I must do it now because I'll have a longer runway ahead to maybe impact someone. Because I do not know what is the possibilities that I will open up for others by being a champion. Win today and live forever as a champion. So this is what I did differently for 2016. Having been in the business for a couple of years, I made it a point to actually print out an entire list of all my clients, and I mean everyone, with their phone numbers. So, and I actually called every one of them. And I mean everyone. I did not miss out a single one of them. Many of them are willing to meet up with me, and most of them actually did something with their portfolio, or they actually referred me their friends. And that was how I had a start for 2016 to actually start off on this journey towards MDRT. You know, towards the end of 2012, my best friend actually approached me. His name is Mike. Approached me with a small request. He actually asked me if I could meet up with his director from another company. So my friend, he is actually from, he's helping his family business, who is mainly focusing on general insurance. But he also has a life insurance, but he hardly makes use of it, because he also buys his life insurance from me. So I accepted the request simply because he's my best friend. But prior to the meeting, I did tell my IO that I'm meeting this director from another company. He was quite chill about it. You know, this goes to show you how confident he is with himself and with the company. Then, during the meeting with the director, she started off by building rapport, and then goes on to share with me why is it good that I should join her. To be frank, for a 2-year-old, someone who is only in the business for 2 years old, whatever she proposed was very attractive. But that's when this thought came to my mind. If I can be bought once, what's stopping me from being bought over again? Do I always go over to the site that offers me the most candies? Doesn't that just make me a mercenary? And what about the promises that I've given to my clients that I will continue to serve them in this company? If your loyalty is on sale, then what you're selling is not loyalty. Then what is loyalty? Loyalty to me is a commitment to a promise that we made. You know what is one of the secrets to building a great team? Loyalty. Loyalty to my associates, loyalty to my IO, and loyalty to the organization that continues to help us, in this case, Great Eastern. So thank you, Great Eastern. As a greenhorn who just started off in the business, he thought I was done. Not yet. Soon, but not yet. I joined this business as a greenhorn, like many of us, not having much sales skills or anything like that. But this is when the courses that was offered by CFE really helped me a lot. Courses that are like Eric Feng, Stannis Benjamin, just to name a few. They actually equipped me with the right skills and knowledge to help me achieve long-term success in this business. And you know what's the best part? It is completely for free. Hey, as a fresh graduate, that was very important. Every dollar counts. Of course, the fact that I'm standing here today goes to show how the coffee session ended up with the other director. A somebody contributes back when things are tough, and not walk away when things are rough. You see, we don't simply break up with someone after you have a quarrel in a relationship. No, you don't. Parents don't disown the child simply over 1 or 2 mistakes. No, they don't. In fact, they will take time after the dust is settled to work on it, to build the relationship, to work on the differences, so on and so forth. So, we must really consider, if anybody will walk away at the first sight of trouble, but somebody will stay and fight no matter the odds. Stay true to your values and be a somebody. After this final sprint, make the decision, because there is not a better time than now to act. Make the declaration to be a somebody, and make the declaration to be a champion.
Well, let me tell you what the problem is. All right? Let me tell you what the problem is. The problem is everybody wants the prize, but nobody wants to pay the price. Right? Everybody wants the prize, but nobody's willing to pay the price. Nobody's willing to put in the work. Nobody's willing to make the sacrifice. Nobody's willing to eat their own shit, to make it happen. Everybody's expecting it to be easy. I was just giving a talk the other day to school, and someone said, well, why would I choose that way? That's much harder. That way's a lot harder. Why would I choose that direction? And I was like, man, why are we talking about hard versus easy? Nobody said this was going to be easy. We don't want it to be easy. If it was easy, then everybody would be doing it, right? If it wasn't difficult, then everybody would be doing it. There'd only be, everybody would be an entrepreneur. Everybody would be a billionaire. Everybody would be a successful athlete or artist or businessman or salesperson or scientist. Everybody would be doing it, right? It's not supposed to be easy. You shouldn't want it to be easy. But if you have a dream, if you have a mission, if you have a passion, this shit is not going to be easy. Easy shouldn't even be in the conversation or in your vocabulary. This is supposed to be hard. You should want it to be hard because then no one can replicate what you create. Anything of value and of meaning is not going to be easy. And that's how it's supposed to be.
Be somebody because you are not just anybody. Thank you.
We would like to invite Jason to remain on stage. Thank you, Jason, for the passionate and heartfelt sharing.
I'm sure many of us look back and remember that we are blessed to be in one of the very few professions that can really impact and make a difference in people's lives.
Now we would like to invite Ben back to the stage to present to Jason a token of appreciation.
Everyone, another round of applause for Jason Tian, please.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Ben.